Let's get our minds clear, our souls clear, and our bodies clear. Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! Rise and shine your light of life into this world with me every morning, being blessed enough to be alive. Calling you from Thailand. We're going to let some of the greenery happen, let some of the construction happen. We're fixing rooftops, we're fixing broken relationships. This is her stuff ready to be moved out. Unfortunately, she chose to go with another man and be free and be clear. And this is how I do it, even with the worst fear. Let's go, Saints Addiction. Man, I'm live. I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be there and my girl would be like, "Oh, there's my friend Tony. He's gonna come pick me up. And here's your shit. I hope he comes and help you pick up that shit." I am not one to play mind games. I am not the one to want to be treated. And instead of relapsing, which would have been an option, especially when you're like, I'm so in love and this person I'm gonna build my life with, and all these things are a possibility, have children, all the goals in life. The tough part are the characteristics that we all have issues with. We all are going to have some sort of emotional instability. Don't mind me, I'm a little bit sick today too. But to clear my mind, to not jump into the drama, to not jump into depression, or just call it what it is, it's an experience. And that's what really started to slow my brain down. There's this thing, what's the book that I'm reading? I'm charging up my phone, but something about like stop overthinking, or winding yourself up with your emotions. I'm probably gonna have to grab my phone, but let's get this morning motivation started, shall we? Shall we? I'll grab my other phone and play a little bit of it because it's on the YouTube, and it's only 2 hours, so I pounded it last night, and I thought to myself, I got some decisions to make, right? To like suck my thumb and be sad that someone doesn't love me as much as I love them, relapse, grab some alcohol, make my heart hurt so bad, or realize that I'm the one making my heart hurt. Hear me now, feel me now. I'm the one choosing the thoughts. I'm the one choosing the actions, and I'm the one choosing my reactions. And if I want those to improve, right, I can ratchet myself up with anxiety and fear. I could go there. I could wow out. I try to calm myself down before I blocked her on Instagram and lightly put her stuff out here. She can come get it when she wants to. But to realize that she's making her own decisions as a human being, right? And I'm only allowing those decisions to affect me. And if I wanted to live a clear mind and life, that I realize that I'm separate from this individual, that my happiness does not belong with this stool, that feel it, see it, smell it, and switch chapters and go to the next. We are constantly trying to ratchet ourselves up with old topics, old fears, overthinking, and literally throwing ourselves through a loop. Like, I can't believe Mark's this calm. I should be crying. Like, she loved me. She didn't choose me. She said she wanted me. She's been gone for 2 weeks, and on the third day, she couldn't wait to run off with some other dude and told me how I'm overreacting, and I'm allowed to have male friends. And I'm like, I haven't seen you. I've waited for you for 2 weeks. It's day three. You literally bought all these things for us to, and you literally moved in, and the next day you're off with some other dude grabbing your hand, motorcycle, all smiling, hugging up on some dude. That shit would just make me jealous, and sure shit, it did. And to clear my mind of said outcome, just realize that I'm making a choice. If I keep choosing this person, she's going to continue to bring me drama, continue to choose other dudes, or play mind games with me, and I'm just not the one. I actually have made it through my own depression. I've actually have made it through some things, and because of that, I now have a inhuman, supernatural ability to handle the bullshit. If it ain't on South Korea level, South Korean prison level, if it ain't on an unwanted abortion level, if it ain't on a homeless level, homie, you ain't even smelling my level. You're not even smelling the concrete, the gabadosh, the brain of concrete, my hard head, my soft ass, because I've been running this mouth the whole fucking time. A hard head makes a soft ass, and I've been learning that since I was a kid. And a lot of us, yes, let's banging out construction time. And a lot of us will just let it wreck our shop. We'll just live in our own head and dread over and over again how things aren't the way that we think they should be. Things aren't fair. No accountability for whatever decisions we made, and only upset because the decision didn't get us the outcome that we wanted. Now, this girl's asked me, how much do I believe in her? And I said 100%. And literally, with her walking in front of me and arguing with me, that 100% literally went to 0%. I blocked her on every social media account, and went from going to add her as a relationship and on my social media to blocking her within 24 hours. In the first 24 hours, having a mental breakdown with me, and has subsequently cried multiple times. And I look at my options. My options are, I want to have children. I want to live this lifestyle. I want to live on this island. I want to travel the world. These are my options. But also, it's the girl that I choose. If they control access to sex, we control access to commitment. And our commitment is only matched by their commitment. And if their commitment's not there, then stop trying to match their energy. It's not you, then it will be someone else. And my ex used to say that to me, to another Aquarius used to say, "Is it you? Is it you?" And it was me. I was the guy that wanted to be there for her. I was the guy that wanted to pick up her two kids and make another family and live in San Francisco and move my whole life. And it was me. I was that guy. And now I'm the guy that's sitting here with his six-pack abs looking at girls like, screw you, dude. I know my belly looking all scrunched up, but I've lost so much weight. Gotten so much mentally stronger that these kind of things don't affect me longer. That because of this overthinking, and I was listening to this book, it's really good shit. It's an audio book. I'll highly suggest it to you. I'll go get up after this joint and show you. But to know that your thoughts are torturing you, that the way that you perceive things or the way that you interpret them are literally causing you pain. That we literally have to practice stoicism and see things as they are, as an experience, and not to weigh it out as good or bad, or something is more of an obstacle course that you have to endure to get through to the next level. We don't mind doing levels in video games, right? But we mind fixing toxic behaviors. We don't mind absorbing information going down wormholes, but we mind studying. We don't mind over exaggerating and jumping to conclusions and doing fear loops, but we do mind looking for positive outcomes. Stop believing in fear and stop looping ourselves into anxiety. We don't give ourselves the tools that we need to keep clear minds. Um, Say that while you got a lot of saliva in your mouth. But anyway, to be able to harness your own chi, to harness your own mind, and I'll let anybody play mind games with you and go like, I got sound mind, and you can't be gaslit because I already lit my own gas. I'm my own self esteem. I actually believe in me. I'm in great shape. I'm about to make some really powerful moves, and even with what the guys say, I'm gonna play another video for you too. But talking about self confidence, even with not wanting some people to not like me on this island, not everybody's going to like you. Get used to it. Everybody wants a 100% approval rating, and there's always going to be someone that doesn't like you. That's okay. It's okay to not get 100% approval ratings. It's okay that not everyone likes you. There are 12 different zodiac signs in the world, and everybody comes from a different experience and background. We're all different. We are all individuals, 8 billion different individuals, and you want all of them to like you? That wouldn't be a happy world either. So for us to go out and seek validation or approval from people, or please choose me, don't choose that guy on the motorcycle. Nah, man, you already made your choice. Go with him. Move in with him. Go with Tony. You no longer live here. And that's what I sent her. I said, I don't, you play too much. I don't play games. I said I wanted to do this, and you said you wanted to do this, and your actions said differently. Then there it is. That's the answer. to be tortured by the answer why the woman I love doesn't choose me, or why her sex drive is lower, or why she has so many boundaries, or why she has so many mental issues. That's on her side of the fence. I'm choosing her. So if I'm choosing that, then I'm choosing that headache, and therefore my mind's not clear. If I unchoose it, then all of a sudden I get my fucking bed back, I get my whole bungalow back, and I get my life back that wasn't that bad in the first place. So that's what I kept telling my ex. I was like, "What are you gonna do? Threaten me to go back to my billionaire lifestyle, going around fucking beautiful women around the world, and building my worldwide business brands, and let me be healthy and clear? That I'm no longer trying to chase a single mom, or a girl that is still poly, or any of these bitches that come through this bungalow trying to fucking run shop, or tell me what should have happened, or they don't like my sheets, or they just want to fuck me. Whatever the thing is, I'm choosing. That's the part. If I no longer choose them, then I'm not longer choosing their drama. I'm not choosing muddiness, and I'm choosing my clarity. And this is the other thing that I was listening to. If I was to give you a bunch of muddy water, how would you clear it? How would you clear your thoughts? How would you clear your anxiety? And to clear your mind, literally, you just have to sit still. To clear water, to get clear thoughts, you have to sit still. Our calmness, our ultimateness, the zone, when we're in the zone, athletes, people that are enjoying themselves, or just being in the moment, we're not thinking anything. We're just existing and feeling, and we're okay with it. This is just like being a child. They just exist, and what happens happens. If they shit their pants, then they're gonna cry. If they get fed, then they're not gonna cry. We're very simple creatures like that. But we tend to wind ourselves up and muddy the waters. We tend to muddy the thoughts, and wind it up. And after speaking about it so long about sobriety and with my friend and how bad he was, yesterday I kind of wanted to drink, but I felt like I'd be a huge hypocrite, and I'd also be bailing out on myself. I'd also tell myself that this girl allowed me to lose my sobriety, or that I'd have to convince myself that this situation was so bad that I was willing to risk my sobriety, my mental health, and possibly my emotional well-being. And I simply just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go back into depression. I didn't want to believe that I was unlovable. I didn't want to believe that this was my last chance at love. And I told her that. So this would be probably be the last time I try to have babies or try to get married with someone. Someone's actually going to have to want my children, stick around, and marry me. They might actually have to ask me to marry them, and they will actually have to change their last name, and they would actually have to commit to me. So then I'm not chasing shit, bro. I'm chasing my mental clarity. I'm trying to keep this brain between my ears sharp, and able to move forward without my heart trying to bum out the party, or get all watery, or collapse. I gave myself the opportunity to see that I'm choosing those kind of outcomes. I'm choosing those kind of feelings. I'm choosing that kind of emotion. And I sat there, and I was just like, is that what I want? Do I want to be telling everybody that I just broke up with my girl, or hat in hand crying, or start drinking? I was like, I saw what happened to my friend, and I was so grateful that I wasn't like him. And then the next day, I almost ended up being like him, crying, hat in hand, tears. I did all these things for her. She still didn't choose me. Same story. He was crying in front of my girl the night before ended up being my story less than 24 hours later. And I just decided not to be like him. I didn't want to be weak. I knew I had more strength than that because I've been there before. I've already been destroyed by an Aquarius, and I've already seen a whole family destroyed in front of me. So when it happened again, I was like, I've seen this movie before. I know how it's going to end. I can't jump at the scary parts no more. I'm not flinching anymore. Because I have experienced true fear. I've experienced the worst of the worst. The simple things don't scare me anymore. Real talk. These old things that used to torture me or make me feel intimidated are no longer in my brain, making me torture myself. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. Thank you for participating. Thank you for playing. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And I don't hate the game of life. I really am grateful that I get this practice with these women, that I practice being a understanding husband, that I practice trying to be a better boyfriend, that I practice trying to be a better human being. But that's what I'm not trying to do, is trying to win votes. impress people, win them over, have them change their vote later, mail in their ballot, or not vote at all. And I realized that to put my happiness in other people gave them run shot driver's seat over me. And what I was listening to with the video is the guy was saying some shit like it was a samurai, and the teacher tested the samurai, and he said, "You ain't shit. Get the fuck out of here," was dismissive to him. And the guy got angry and drew his sword on his teacher and jumped him. And he looked in his eyes and he said, "That is hell. To lose yourself, to not be in control of yourself, to let other people push your buttons and trigger you is the actual hell that we live in." There's the addiction. There's the saint's addiction. There's the dark side that nobody wants to talk about, where someone can come in and wreck your shop easily, tell you that you're fat, tell you that you're ugly, not like your style, and boom, all of a sudden you let that person control you. They grabbed on your knob and started turning the buttons to 11 and 12, ratcheting you up, fucking up the treble, fucking up the bass, fucking up your rhythm. And I was like, why am I so exposed? And then he started to see it. The samurai started to see it. He saw it and he started to cry. He started to cry to see that lesson of how quickly he was able to lose his concentration. So how quickly he was able to give up his calm, and how quickly he was other people were able to control his temper. And he paused and started to cry, and the teacher said, "That is heaven." To be able to see yourself before you lose yourself, before you put your faith in other people and let them be your emotional stability, or let them be your sobriety, or let them be your north star. you know um, you got to look inside yourself and say, "I'm my own heaven." Come on, bites. Let me go grab this other phone. I'm my own heaven, right? I'm the one that sets the tone in my brain and allows it to get beat up by negative self talk, or believing negative self beliefs, or allowing someone else to run shop, or run crazy in our head, or tell us that we are crazy. I want you guys to see some of the trees this morning. I don't know why, but it was just a feeling. Rotate your camera. I'm trying to get in this motherfucking hammock. Check out these trees. This is what I'm talking about. My kneesies. My kneesies. Let's go. Let's go. Let's live in this world. Let's live in the lit world with trees. And just turn around and check out the trees. Just breathe and let it be. Don't try to control it. Don't try to run it. Stop trying to overthink it, and allow your brain get unmuddy. Allow yourself to be clear. Allow yourself to see the forest through the trees and breathe, and give yourself a chance to not live in anxiety, to not live in fear, to not live all over the place and ratchet yourself up every time something happens, and overthink it, and go to battle, go to the, what do they call it, go to their battle stations, and get all worked up. And oh man, we tend to just muddy our waters and get unclear real quick. So I'm gonna jump on this and show you what I've been listening to. You can follow along on the YouTube too. I'm sure of it. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. So I've been listening to this video, and I thought it was apropos for this situation, but let's see if I can't get it all. So one of them was the come on, internet, why are you going so slow on me? One of them is the, I'm trying to get this, uh, that samurai story. One of them is a guy that hits on chicks. He's a confidence guy, and one of them is the book, and it's not helping me right now, so I gotta pull it up. I've been listening. One of them's I wanted to get into Master Emotions. Uh, the other one is Don't Believe Everything You Think, and I felt that that was the most interesting book. It's a full length audio book on YouTube when my YouTube wants to work. Let me turn it off, my Wi Fi off, and turn it on again. But to be able to sit there and be like, fuck, man, I've been torturing myself for years, and really beating myself up for decisions that I made, right? And allowing myself to be tortured and be okay with that was shocking to me. That I was so okay with being infuriated that that became my new vibration. Kind of like the neighbors the other morning, waking up and yelling at each other and fighting each other. I could not fucking believe that this is what was going on. I got a little Thailand commercial here. Let's go.
More lost before than I started on this quest. I felt purposeless, hopeless, and directionless. I didn't know what to do anymore.
Let's see.
Not our usual thinking about a particular event or thing. Our experience of it completely alters. This is how we live in a world of thought, not reality, and how our perception of reality is created from the inside out, through our own thinking. With this new understanding, you've just uncovered.
Wait for it because they want to start drilling and doing crazy shit. Probably because this reach, preach, and teach moment is so potent. But to sit there and see that you are literally the designer of your emotional turmoil is empowering.
The cause of all of our human psychological suffering. The root cause of our suffering is our own thinking. Now, before you throw this book
16
across the room
minutes
and
in.
light it on fire, I'm not saying that this is all in our heads and that it isn't real. Our perception of reality is very real. We will feel what we think, and our feelings are real.
We will
That is
feel
completely undeniable.
what we think.
However,
Watch these
our
guys drilling. Hold up, let them do their thing because this is stuff is so powerful, and we don't need to be interrupted by mediocre minds. This is some deep shit. This is people that want to really deep dive and be this mentally okay after the love of their life went off on a motorcycle with another dude, or that the love of their life created killed a 5-month-old baby inside of them, a healthy child, all these things, and even my mental stability in a South Korean prison. This is where I live and breathe. This is my wheelhouse of mental stability and overcoming some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. This is my way of battling back. This is my way of fucking getting in the game and making my brain work for me instead of against me, switching my addictions, looking for the positivity instead of the negativity, stop dwelling, stop ruminating, stop beating myself up for things that already have happened, and appreciate the experience.
will look like an inevitable, unchangeable reality to us until we begin seeing how our reality is created. If we know that we can only ever feel what we're thinking, then we know that we can change our feelings by changing our thinking. Thus, we can change our experience of life by knowing that it comes from our own thinking. And if that is true, then we are ever only one thought away from experiencing something different and transforming our entire lives at any moment through a state of no thought.
And
In
this,
short, the
and
moment we
this,
stop
this,
thinking
this,
is
this,
when our
this, this short.
happiness begins.
The moment we stop thinking is when our happiness begins. That whole taking accountability and taking over one's thoughts and realizing that we are the ones destroying our own happiness gave me so much clarity. I want to actually rewind that a little bit because it was
Are
like
you wondering how much it will cost you to
dude,
start up a company in Dubai?
that's not what I was wondering. I was trying to actually skip this ad, right? Turn up the
We
volume.
stop thinking,
Let's get it.
and we know that we can change our feelings by
I think the one that
reality
struck
is
me the
very
most.
real. We will feel what we think, and our feelings are real. That is completely undeniable. However, our thinking will look like an inevitable, unchangeable reality to us until we begin seeing how our reality is created. If we know that we can only ever feel what we're thinking, then we know that we can change our feelings by changing our thinking. Thus, we can change our experience of life by knowing that it comes from our own thinking. And if that is true, then we are ever only one thought away from experiencing something different. And
If we are only one thought away from experiencing something different was phenomenal to me. That right there is worth a drill in the background, dude. To say to yourself, you know, something, anything better than what we're saying to ourselves will change the trajectory of ourselves was so powerful to me. The fact that we have the ability to sit there and go, okay, now I'm in control of me. I'm no longer in control of the drills or the people outside of me or these thoughts that torture me. I basically lift myself up and say, hey, bro, you're having these thoughts, you're having these emotions, you're having this background noise, you're in control of the background noise, you're the one that's overthinking it, you're the one that's making yourself emotionally unstable, you're the one that's making it worse than it has to be. It happened, so let it be. It's already happened. This is how things end up being. So let's do it.
And that's the
Let's
other.
just go. This guy's the number one confidence hack. Become socially invisible.
It's okay. So what? It's going to happen. And that's the other thing. Don't buy into this lie that you're meant to get along with everyone. That's not natural. We're conditioned this way. Hey, there's 3 tips I can share with you now that will make anyone like you. Do you want to know what those tips are? Everyone's like, yes, anyone. I want all of them to like me. Did anyone watch Rick and Morty? There's the recent season where this president wants 100% approval rate. That's what we're all trying to do. I want 100% approval rate of me. It's like, no. Let people also dislike you and realize that there is such a thing as natural chemistry. There is. When it comes to romantic relationships, friendships, and anyone and everyone. There's some people you just click with and some people you don't. And just because you don't click with someone doesn't mean that they are bad or inferior. It just means that they are different. And that's the thing to take in. We are all equal, but we are all different. All of us are different. Say right now we were all to talk about our favorite movie. Are we all going to agree on the best movie of all time? No. Yes, no? No. So wait, so who's the better one or the worst one? Someone's like, well, Forrest Gump. You're right. Anyone who disagrees with Forrest Gump. No, there's some where you're like, oh, I agree with this and that. Do you agree with everything your friends think? No. Do you agree with everything your family thinks or even your partner or your kids think? Yes, no? No.
And you
that's
won't.
Natural.
And that's natural.
Like, I do.
And that's natural. That you're not going to get along with everybody. That motherfuckers are going to be using the drill long at the most important part of your video. That people aren't going to live up to your expectations and leave you. And that you're going to drive yourself fucking crazy trying to control outer situations. You know, trying to, what was the guy? And I'll tell you this last story that I heard, but it was saying that he was a monk and he was getting frustrated that he couldn't concentrate. And every time he tried to like meditate, someone would come up or talk to him or confuse him, and then he said, okay, let me find a place I can meditate. And he was getting irritated, and he went to the middle of this lake and he started to meditate, and there's no one around, no traffic, no drills, and everything was super chill. And he chilled out in this boat, started getting some real hardcore meditation on. Then one day a boat started to head his way directly for him, and he didn't want it to come at him, and he was trying to wave it off, scream at it, whatever, blah blah blah. And sure shit, the boat hit his boat, capsized him. He's swimming, he's angry, and he goes out and he goes, who's in this boat? Turned out the boat was empty. And that's much like our thoughts. These empty thoughts, these empty feelings, these empty emotions that drive ourselves crazy, we let them capsize our boat. And there's no one to get mad at. I used to tell my mom, I was like, get mad at your cat, because as soon as I leave, there's no one you can yell at. I mean, you can yell at a cat, but a cat can't yell back. You'll be basically arguing with yourself. And that's basically what we've been doing. We've been arguing with ourselves, muddying our minds, losing our clarity, getting all tossed up without no emotional stability, without no stoicism, without any perspective, and just letting it run shot all over us. And then we start relapsing, and then we start overreacting, and then we start torturing ourselves within our minds. And this morning's motivation, if you got anything out of this, make sure that you see your forest through your trees. Make sure that you sit still and long enough that you get some clarity, and know that you're the only one to blame. You made your choices. You thought you were choosing wisely at the time, and if you keep continuing to torture yourself with these lessons, then they won't be blessings. They will just be another negative experience that you'll perceive as torture or not being fair or not right. When the truth is you chose it outright. And if you start making better choices, then the outcomes change. And that's your morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, please like, share, subscribe below. And as always, peace and love. And Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever, and Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And make sure you control your mind. Right? Peace, love. See you. Ciao.